Wondering where you can see painted guitars? This video will share with you an interesting story behind the painted guitars. Our GPS told us where to turn down this road, but we had to drive about 2.5 miles to actually get in the campground. We thought we were lost. Hi, it's Monday, October the 30th, and we're sitting lakeside at this beautiful campground.
This campground is a Corps of Engineer campground. It's called Big Hart. It sits on a huge reservoir that is 71,000 acres large. We're just in a little section of it, obviously. It's a nice site. It's very level, very peaceful. In fact, there's only one other rig in this loop that we're in right now. Mornings are very quiet. There's no wind in the morning. The lake is like a mirror. We've seen a blue heron here right next to us. And this morning, while I was sitting out here having my second cup of coffee, I saw it was either an eagle or an osprey. It was on the other side of the lake, come down and grab a fish out of the reservoir and I guess consumed it for breakfast.
And last evening there were a couple little deer over next to us playing with each other, and Greg said that there were also a couple bigger deers that I didn't see.
Yeah, we actually seen more deer here than the rest of our entire travels. I go for walks in the morning. I typically see deer running on either side of through the woods and everything. It's a pretty nice place. While we were here, we also visited two state parks. One was called Mistletoe, and the other one was called Elijah Clark. I always say Elijah Craig because that's a bourbon, but it's Elijah Clark. This is by far a much better facility than those. So if we're back to this area, we'd probably stay here again. It's been pretty nice.
And I keep looking up because there's a group of buzzards up in the sky flying around. I hope they're not coming to get Bob and Ted.
Yeah, where is Bob and Ted? Oh, they're back there. They were playing, but they were misbehaving, so we made them sit in separate chairs. So they like it out here too.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And we're finally in the warm weather. We're both in shorts and t-shirts. So.
Yeah, it was 80, and let me tilt you up. You can see the blue sky we have. Oh boy, look at that. Really nice weather. While we were here, we did visit downtown Thomson, a small city. We'll talk about that later on.
I think that's all for now.
I think that's it. Yep. Catch you guys later.
This was a great site. It was large, level, and right on the lake. We really enjoyed staying here. Even Bob and Ted loved this campsite. They enjoyed sitting outside basking in the sun.
Our little blue heron showed up almost every evening while we were there. One evening we took a walk along the beach. As you can see, the water's quite low. Those things sticking out of the ground in the water, they're tree stumps that are exposed now since the reservoir is so low.
A pretty interesting exhibit at the museum was of Blind Willie McTell. Blind Willie was born in 1901. He lost his sight in late childhood, yet he earned the status of one of the most accomplished guitarists and lyrical storytellers in blues history. There is now an annual, it's the second weekend in May, festival held in his honor, the Blind Willie McTell Blues Festival. People come from all over the U.S. to hear the inspiring melodies reminiscent of the great era in music history. Throughout the town, there are 12 string strut painted stellar guitar replicas designed by local artists. Here's a picture of a few of them.
For you Jack Reacher fans out there, last season they had Reacher ending up in a small Georgia town called Margrave to do some research and learn about a blind black guitarist named Blind Blake. I'm wondering if Blind Blake is really Blind Willie McTell. Early in the years of U.S. Steel, Andrew Carnegie reached out to a friend of his, lived in Georgia, who was a railroad man. That man was J. Edgar Thomson. Carnegie convinced him to come to Pittsburgh to run his new plant, the Edgar Thomson plant in Braddock, PA. Later on in his career with U.S. Steel, Thomson became the president of the Pennsylvania Railroad.
Another interesting place that we stopped was called Antiques and Uncle Junk's. It was actually filled with antiques and unique junk.
We did go inside and explored the area inside. It was filled with many, many different items. Christmas, Halloween, tolls, everything. Mary and I decided we were going to take a little walk. We let the kids behind, figured they weren't getting in trouble. When we returned, well, we found that they did get in trouble. They found some adult beverages. Bad boys. If you look closely, you can see my white knuckles. We're on I-20 heading west toward Atlanta.
Here's my job. I'm navigating. Loving every minute of this. So we're walking on a trail. Not sure if this is going to be paved the whole way, but we'll see how it goes. We finally have a nice sunny day, still only in the 50s, but there's no wind and it's nice and sunny.
My turn. We're still walking on the trail. Blue sky today. First time we've seen a blue sky since the day we arrived here. We'll probably get lost. This paved trail has different legs going off to the left and right. You know, that one there goes back to the campsite. We're down there to the right. And I think we'll keep heading this way. See what's down there. It's nice, it's all paved. Even it'd be nice in the if it was raining, if you had an umbrella, it wouldn't be muddy, that's for sure. But yeah, turned out to be a pretty nice day. Well, we came across a little lake, a little muddy today, but it was nice. And look who's coming up the trail, all bundled up. It's my bride, Mary. Don't let the blue skies fool you. It's been awfully cold here, down into the 30s at night. And we just recently bought a electric blanket for nighttime. Saw 3 of these. We think it's 7 sightings of Bigfoot. Be careful. Just pranking you, Lynette. We spent a nice Friday afternoon in downtown historic Carrollton, a quaint little town, many unique shops.
Carrollton's downtown square is named Adamson Square. It's reminded us of the square that's in Gettysburg, PA.
Right down from the square, we found Underground Books, a rather unique bookstore. You actually have to step down into like a basement to the store. There were a variety of new and used books throughout. Anybody who enjoys books could spend hours looking at all their books. With all the walking around and exploring we did, we built up an appetite. We stopped at the corner cafe for a nice, friendly lunch.
We stopped also at the Carrollton Center for Arts. The current exhibit there was from an artist named Curtis Bartone. Unfortunately, we didn't take any pictures of his work. We weren't sure if we were allowed to or not. Our next stop was the Quilt and Textile Museum. The current exhibit there was of family heirlooms. There were many quilts made of old wedding dresses, children's clothing, doilies, hankies, and women's gloves. It was unique. I really didn't know if we would like this or not, but it was a very interesting museum to stop at. And of course, before we left Georgia, we had to try their Georgia peach cobbler. It was delicious.
Just a heads up, we'll be leaving Georgia this Sunday, heading toward Alabama. We'll be spending several days there before we continue our trip to the West Coast. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please list those below. Thank you.